So I ordered this thing off of the internet, off of Amazon, to digitize my pretty large collection of musical cassettes. Now, I'm from the era from when the world was transitioning from analog to digital. So when I was in college, I basically had cassettes. I had some CDs as well, but most of my music were cassettes at the time. I've been putting it off because I've been trying to do it properly, but then it dawned on me that actually a lot of this music, or most of it, is already available now on Spotify, on Apple Music, Amazon Music, or even YouTube. But what I'm trying to digitize isn't the quality of the music. If I wanted to listen to the music in full quality, then I would basically listen to a lossless file or get a CD or something of the same music. It's just widely available now. And even the worst quality MP3 that would stream from something like Spotify would still sound better than something I'll get in a cassette. So what I'm actually digitizing isn't the quality of the music itself, but rather the essence of the tape. So be it a mixtape, a one-off recording, the flow, i.e. the playlists of the ones that I made, or if there were albums that I purchased, the way that they were packaged back in those days, I don't know, there's some difference to it. And the way that the songs flow after each other, I find it to be completely different between that and how it works when it's just a digital file, one playing after the other. Anyhow, so I just took the plunge. I actually got the cheapest one I could find on Amazon because I read all the reviews and they seem to be the same, just priced at different amounts. Also, since I'm not caring that much about the quality, then I don't really mind what the sound card is like. So in the package itself, of course, you get the device itself, which is the cassette to MP3 converter. Now, I'm going to do a full review of this once I digitize the first cassette, but it kind of looks like I expected. It's relatively low quality. It's not as good a quality as something like a Walkman or something from JVC or one of those that we used to use back in the day. This is made of really cheap materials. That is some kind of plastic that's made to look like aluminium. That is sort of also plastic with some kind of metallic sheet that's been sort of stuck onto that. I expect this thing to fall apart within the year, if it even lasts that long. But hopefully it lasts long enough for me to digitize all my tapes. So it has a whole bunch of controls in the front here that seem to be duplicates of some of these. That's a rewind, fast forward, CD to C. I don't know what that means. Probably something to do with whether you're playing or recording, just guessing. And then of course you have the stop button. On the side you have the USB interface there, the USB port. You have the auxiliary in, which I guess is a way of getting music into there. God knows, I'll find out once I do a full review. And a volume. Now this accepts a USB drive on which it actually records the music, as opposed to being connectable to your computer. Now, I wonder if I can actually connect that to a computer and actually capture the audio, or if this aux is actually an aux out and not necessarily just an aux in which case it works with earphones. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that's got to also be the earphone because it's the only 3.5mm jack here. So that's got to be aux out rather than in, which means I can pass out a signal from here to my computer and do it the old school way if the USB flash isn't doing what it's supposed to do. Anyway, I'll have a full review of that when that happens. Also in the package, you get one of these really super cheap earphones. Again, they don't actually expect you to use this, but I guess it's handy if you were in the middle of nowhere and you didn't have earphones. These are the pieces of garbage that used to come with these devices back in the day. I can't imagine this is any good. Maybe I'll test it a bit later just to see, but I'll probably just chuck that directly in the bin. I've got so many earphones, so many options. And of course you get this, which is the charging cable. So this thing charges via USB. So that goes in here, which is the AC adapter, like so. And this goes into any basically powered USB device. So that could probably charge, or sorry, not charge. That could probably, did I call it a charging cable? I meant a power cable. So that would be powered via USB. So that could go into a wall socket with a USB interface, a USB on your computer or what have you, and you can run that. But it also runs off of batteries. This is what I was saying about the, I don't know if you can see that, it's already sort of scratched. I don't know if I scratched that or it's already been scratched from the factory, but it's very, very soft plastic material. It's not like super high quality or pretends to be any of that. And I think even they assume that you're going to use it once to, on a project, and once all your cassettes are digitized, you're not actually going to listen to music on this thing, because you can buy a very cheap digital music player for that. Right, it says open this way. I'm trying to open it. Oh, sorry, I was blocking it. Right, so that is, that's quite flimsy. That's going to break if you sort of put a bit of weight on that. That's just going to snap clean off. That device is very shiny, but it's also made of, relatively cheap. I don't know if that's plastic or some kind of really cheap metal. It looks like plastic with an aluminium foil sort of pressed down onto it. That is the battery compartment. It takes two AAA battery. Is it double A or triple A? That looks like double A batteries. So when I'm doing the digitization, I'll probably use something like an external power bank to ensure that the power doesn't suddenly run out. But obviously, if you're out and about and you're listening to build music, then batteries are pretty handy. And then of course you get this, which is a little guide. I haven't actually read that, but it tells you what you need to know. It's a user manual. It tells you what everything is. I mean, it's quite straightforward, and it confirms that there's two AA batteries. So if you're interested in this is the cheapest one I could find on Amazon. I think it's probably the same quality as the more expensive ones. I bought this for about £15, and they're going usually for about £20 to £30. You could probably get them slightly cheaper on eBay, but then you'd find they're about £15 or so on eBay on average. The branding on the actual device is different from the branding on the box, even though the picture is the same. The actual branding, EZ cap or EZ cap, doesn't appear anywhere on this device, not that I can see anyway. All right, so if you're interested in that, I'm going to leave a link in the description. Also look out for a full review when I've digitized the first cassette. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself. Peace out.